Hey guys, it's Goosebumps Completionist, and today I'm bringing you another book versus episode video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at Let's Get Invisible, the book versus the episode. Now, in case you didn't know, this little sleeve of Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns has Let's Get Invisible included on it, and it says it on the back right here, right there on the bottom. So I'll be using this as a point of reference for this video. So the book, I gave this about a 4.5 out of 5. I gave it a low A. I think this book is great. I think it's one of the great commentaries of Goosebumps. It has a very layered story, a very emotional, deeper story, kind of coming of age kind of feel, kind of like a cautionary tale. It's very weird in Goosebumps, and I think it's a perfect blend. It's just kind of a slow burn. It has its issues, but it's a great book. And then for the episode, I gave a 3.8 out of 5. Now, this episode is more of a shell of what the book is. It's only a 21-minute adaptation, but, you know, this was pretty fun for what it was. It has its memorable moments. It has its good things about it. It does have its flaws, but for the most part, pretty solid episode. So, you might think this might be a runaway, and it might be, but I kind of want to go over everything I usually talk about in the book versus episodes to make it fair. So, in the book versus episode videos, I like to run down a few things. First off is the characters. Go over the main characters, the side characters, you know, you name it. Then I like to run over the atmosphere. Which one has a better atmosphere, right? I like to run over plot. Which one has a better plot? Sometimes I will go over, you know, I'll go over some nuances, you know, differences, you know, aesthetics, so to speak. There's not really much aesthetic changes here, so I'll leave it be and not talk about aesthetics in this video, but sometimes you will see aesthetics be brought up when they are different here, but not in this video. Then we'll go over overall plot. Which one did I think have a better plot? Then we'll go over the climax. Which one I think had a better climax? And then the ending, right? And just because I think, because I just want to include it and it's my video, I can do whatever I want. I'm also going to bring up theme. Which one had a better theme? Which one captures the theme of the story better? Okay, I'll make that as a bonus category since I can't do aesthetics. We'll kind of treat that like that, all right? So, let's talk about characters first. Let's talk about Max, all right? In the episode, Max is all right. His actor, he has his issues. He can't express emotions with his eyes. Looks kind of awkward and kind of stiff sometimes, but he's a pretty solid actor. You kind of get a sense of Max's story. You know, he has an annoying little brother. He's, you know, kind of like a adventurous type. You know, he's kind of responsible when he starts to realize that this stuff is hurting people. He has a good idea to put a stop to it. He has good intentions. So, yeah, he's a pretty solid character in the episode. The book, he's essentially the same, but you get a lot more of his inner monologue. You get to explore more into the mind of Max. Max is definitely one of the stronger Goosebumps protagonists, I will say. I love his journey throughout the book with his little brother Noah, who's known more like Lefty in the book. I like how the story goes down that rabbit hole with him in the story. You know, the whole story, you know, kind of getting ahead of myself with the plot, but it is a big metaphor for like drug addiction. And for him to have the wherewithal and the knowledge to put a stop to things and being like the responsible kid is cool. Like, it's really cool for the type of story he's trying to tell. So, for Max, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of close. The episode does a fair job at trying to capture Max, but I'm going to have to give the edge to the book for Max. Max is so good. I mean, one of my favorites. Seriously. Max is awesome. So yeah, Max wins there. Let's talk about Lefty, aka Noah, you know, either way. Kevin Zegers, you might know him from like the Air Bud movies or Dawn of the Dead. He plays Noah in the episode. He does a very good job at displaying Noah, how he came across in the book. he's kind of an annoying kid. You know, he's, you know, troublemaker. He wants to do what he wants. He's kind of spoiled a little bit, kind of manipulative, kind of annoying. But, you know, him kind of bonding with his brother is kind of cute in the episode. But in the book, I feel like Noah, aka Lefty's, kind of treated a little better, slightly. I like how that dynamic with him and Max kind of devolves their relationship. And yeah, Noah makes some really disappointing choices in the story because, like I said, it's an allegory for addiction. When you have somebody you love suffering from addiction, you kind of lose them. So a lot of the stuff is understandable when you understand the mature themes this is trying to convey. And yeah, he makes some disappointing choices, but Noah is, I don't know, he's a good contrast to Max, and he's probably the main reason why he wants to put a stop to the mirror. And either way you go, Max really cares about his brother and doesn't want him to get hurt. So for for Noah, honestly, I think he's done well enough in the episode to kind of, you know, give some episode respect. So I'll kind of tie them here. Okay, no real preference, even though I think he's done a little bit better in the book if I had to give it. But fair enough, I'll tie Noah here. Let's start off with a character that's not even in the episode, April. She's only in the book. So by default, April goes to the book. April is a character. She's one of the friends. She's like friends with Aaron, who's in the episode. And she's the only character in the book not to go invisible. But she also has, you know, some pretty good qualities to her. And I kind of wish that we saw her in the episode. But maybe she wasn't there for budget reasons. Maybe they saw her character kind of not really necessary. I don't know. So, yeah, that's April. Aaron. Okay, Aaron, in the book, she comes across like more of a junkie as she gets hooked on becoming invisible, and she gets kind of annoying. But in the episode, she has more of a heroic quality to her, and I like that. I like that about Aaron in the episode. So I'm going to give the edge to Aaron to the episode. Hands down. I love Aaron in the episode. Great. Now, in the book, she does act like a kind of a villain near the end, but I don't know. I just didn't like her character in the book that much. She was all right. Not enough to deduct points on. She wasn't like that, but she was kind of annoying. Okay. Let's talk about Zach. Zach. In the episode, this guy's like at least 18, maybe 16, but I'm pegging he's way older than the other actors. He has a bad actor in some scenes. I don't know if it was the director, Ron Oliver, making him do what he was saying, the way he was saying it, but he has some good moments with his acting and some really bad moments with his acting. And that kind of took away from Zach from me in the episode. In the book, Zach is still the pushy type of character. Either way you go, Zach is pretty much the one pushing the peer pressure. Him and Aaron are pushing this. Like, they keep on persisting with Max to keep going invisible. We need to practice this. We need to have competitions. The book has more competitions in the episode. And Zach's build-up in the book is so good. Because you know that he is losing himself to getting invisible faster than anybody. And Max kind of catches on to that. It's kind of emotional, you know, when you see these characters, when you think back on it, at least when I think back on it. Seeing Aaron and Zach lose themselves to the mirror is really sad. There's a lot of metaphorical stuff there. But if I had a preference for Zach, I'm going to give it to the book. Sorry. I know some people probably would be like, he's all right in both. Or maybe they even like the episode because of that one iconic line he does. But, yeah, I just like Zach more in the book. Now, is there any more characters? Oh, we can talk about the parents and I guess the grandparents. The parents are in the episode and the book, but the grandparents are only in the book. But I kind of want to loop them in all in one thing. The main thing that the parents / grandparents are here in the story for is for Max to kind of question, hey, since you bought this house from our grandparents, did you ever like grow up with anything going on in the house. And coming to think of it, the more I think about this, the more infuriating it is. Because I think I mentioned it as a negative in the book. There is no explanation how the grandparents lived in this house all these years and did not know that this mirror was up there. You can't convince me that they did not know about that. It's completely bizarre. That's like one of the biggest plot holes in Goosebumps history. How did the mirror get up there? If they bought the house from the grandparents, wouldn't the grandparents know? I don't know. But they're so bizarre. At least with the parents, right? They're so bizarre looking in the episode, and that's probably due to Ron Oliver's influence. And in the book, they're kind of there. They serve the same purpose. So to be fair, at least for plot, I'll kind of tie them. But if I had a preference, I'd go with the book with the parents / grandparents, only because at least they offer, an extra, more in-depth scene than the episode did. So there you go. And I guess we'll talk about the mirror. The mirror, the clones, we can talk about them. The clones, the mirror itself. We'll kind of rope this all into one. So like, the mirror version of Zach, mirror version of Aaron, mirror version of Max, you name it. I will give the edge to the book. It's just, the build up to that is so much better than the episode. Yeah, episode Zach is kind of threatening. The way he's portrayed looks kind of cool. But the book is just wild. The mirror world concept was fun. It was really elaborate. It was very descriptive. The episode tried, but I like the mirrors. Like, there's so much vagueness about the mirror. It's kind of creepy, and I kind of like it that way. But I just want to know where it came from. And did the grandparents know about this? I think that would have added an extra layer. Like, if the grandparents hid the mirror up there, maybe it was a haunted mirror. Maybe it belonged to one of their dead relatives. And maybe they were, like, obsessed with the mirror dimension. I don't know. They could have gone any way with that. This book is 140 pages. They could have definitely trimmed something out and replaced it with some origin. But, anywho, I think I like the book more when it comes to the mirror and the clones and stuff. Yeah, there you go. So let's get into atmosphere. Both have a stale setting, right? A lot of people love to bash Let's Get Invisible, at least the book, because they think it's repetitive. I'm gonna go to bat for this book here. I don't think it's repetitive, more so than I think that the setting is very stale. If all this stuff was happening in different locations, people would not complain about this. It's the setting. Being stuck in the attic, either way you go, really harms the atmosphere. But there is something unnerving about it. And I don't know. The episode does a great job illustrating atmosphere. How dingy the attic looks. The book tries, right? The book actually takes you outside, at least for one scene, and it was kind of used for more pranks and stuff, but the episode doesn't really show. But the atmosphere is pretty much deadlocked, so I'm going to give it a tie here. It's just a very small-scale story told in a full story setting, right? It's kind of lackluster with where it's located. Majority of the story is in the attic. Doesn't really move out of the attic, but it fits for the type of story, at least what the book's trying to tell. In the episode, it's like more of a shell of this. But when you're telling an allegory about drugs, right, and drug addiction, where do people go if they want to do drugs together, right? They go to the same place. They go to the same place. They go to their hangout spot. The attic is the hangout spot. That's where they go do their stuff. So it makes sense, but it is kind of stale. So atmosphere's tied. So now, instead of doing aesthetics, we're going to talk about the theme. Because I feel like it. Which one does the theme better? I'm not even going to waste anybody's time. The episode is just a shell of the book. The theme is done way better in the book. It's so elaborate. It's so well done. It's phenomenal. It's one of the great commentaries of Goosebumps. This reminds me, I want to make a talk type of video of talking about the great commentaries of Goosebumps. This was pretty much the first one of its kind in the series, coming to talk about something deep. It's a deep subject, you know. It's actually pretty smartly woven too. It's and the way Stein chose like an attic being like their hangout room where they do what they do, and how the characters' emotions, like how you see those evolve and how you see these characters change. It's really well done. The theme is great, and you understand what this book is trying to say. It's a big old allegory of a book. Theme is great in the book. So yeah, the book wins out. The episode, you can kind of grasp it. You can kind of see it there because the skeleton of the book is so strong, but it's just not as rich. Right? It's like almost getting a Hershey bar and then getting a 0-calorie Hershey bar, right? You're getting the Hershey bar here and you're getting the 0-calorie here. They taste a little bit different, but hey, you don't have to like sit through all these empty calories with the book. So, but anyways, getting off track. Let's get into the overall plot. I kind of want to add in pacing here as well. If I had a preference, and I'm being truthfully honest, I wish the book was as brisk paced as the episode was, because the episode's pace. Hold on, let's just give a pace point here for the episode. The pacing, the condensing, it generally works for most episodes, especially slow burning episodes. This does wonders for pace, going the episode route. However, overall plot, I feel like there's more to chew on with the book, so I'm gonna give the edge to the book. The episode's plot is just, it comes off kind of hobbly and random, and how it just hobbles around, scene to scene, good old Ron Oliverisms, and Brick Drew's writing. I don't know. So, plot, I'm gonna give it to the book, which is a little bit better. The climax, now, I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to tie these. The climax is pretty much dead even. It's essentially the same thing. Removing few characters. You remove April out of the episode. You change up Aaron's character a little bit. And it's essentially the same thing. But if I had a preference, I'm going to give it to the book, yet again, because the book just has a more tense climax. You have Aaron and Zach all strung out, having clones of themselves. Poor old April, she hasn't turned invisible yet, but she's being held captive by them, like not allowed to leave. And then Lefty's nowhere to be found, and Max is in the mirror dimension. It's just really, really, really tense. And you're like, what is going on? What is about to happen? The episode is just like, it's just kind of hobbly. Kind of like the rest of the episode, but it's fine. But the episode does it better. Now the ending, right? Now, this truthfully will get a tie. It's essentially the same ending. It was done very well. Still really good, either way you go. I like the way the episode ends off, and you see that classic, scene where Kevin Zegers is staring at the camera. It's so good. So yeah, Deadlock. It's the same twist. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's the same thing. So now they've gone through everything. Which one do I think is superior, y'all? Well, this is a landslide victory, but I do want to commend the episode for trying. It is, not really a valiant effort to try to fix anything. It does have a lot of the sins. It has pretty much every single sin the book has, except told in a shorter time frame. It has better pacing. It has a better Aaron. But everything else goes to the book. So when it comes to which one's superior, it's definitely the book. And it's by almost like a full wig of hair. It's leaps almost like two totally different leagues here. But the episode still is great. And I'm not trying to undersell it. It's awesome. And like always, like I say in these videos, Goosebumps is a book franchise. Go read Let's Get Invisible. Go enjoy this book. Maybe you won't enjoy it as much, but go try the book, then watch the episode. I wouldn't blame you if you like the episode more, honestly. It is more of a condensed version. If you don't like slow burning stories, if you don't like deeper stories, thought-provoking stuff, you just want to turn your brain off type of thing, the episode is definitely more up your alley then. But if you like the deeper stuff, the book is definitely better in that regard. So, there's give and takes. I do recommend them both. Go try them both out. They're awesome. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Let's Get Invisible, the book and the episode. Let me know down in the comment section, which one do you prefer? Do you think the book is better, or do you think the episode is better? I'm dying to know. And I'll see you next time.